LA Unified School District is passing a new rule regarding homework, which some people are calling racist. They are forcing teachers to cap homework at 10% of a student's grade.
Why is that racist?
Well, let me read.
Why is everything racist?
Well, the argument is that a lot of the students in LA don't have the right home lives to allow them to really do a lot of homework, so therefore their grades shouldn't...
Los Angeles, California?
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, here's the LA Unified School District memo. Varying degrees of access to academic support at home for whatever reason should not penalize a student so severely that it prevents the student from passing a class, nor should it inflate the grade. While some students do not have the opportunity to do homework while away from school, thus failing to return assignments, for others it is difficult to be sure that it was the student who actually did the work.
Oh, hold on a second. First off, what are they asking? 10 minutes per grade?
No. They're saying that the homework can't account for more than 10% of their grade.
Read that very last part again, though. That was interesting. About that, you can't verify.
Fine, that has something interesting.
No, that LA Times said it.
No, the LA Unified School District.
Why is this racist?
People are suggesting it's racist because, well, for example, this is from the LA Weekly. Based on the theory that homework is more likely to be completed by kids with a secure home life and involve parents, a.k.a. the white middle class, LA Unified School District is forcing teachers to cap homework.
Well, here's the thing. First off, for centuries, or at least decades, and a century and a half, people have been coming home to parents that just speak German or just speak Italian or just speak another language and doing their homework. And that's the way it worked. As you listen to my grandfather's tapes from, when he was a kid, this is in, 1913, 1915, he dutifully did his homework, and he did it every night, and he did multiple languages and what have you. As he said in the tape, he sat in the coffee house and he did his homework. He didn't have his dad hovering over. His dad back in the day, 1918, you think your dad would do your fucking homework for you? No, you did your homework. If your parents, it's your homework. Now, your parents can help out. And as far as that thing where you don't have a place to do it, look, if you have a bed and a desk from IKEA, if you have a kitchen table, if you have a sofa, if you can find a library, if you'd like to do your homework, you can do your homework. Yes, it's that same bullshit we do. It's the ultimate racism, which is these people aren't up to the challenge. It's like saying they don't have enough money for a hot meal. Really? How much is a sack of beans? How much is a sack of rice? How much is a couple chicken bouillon cubes? You can't boil that shit up and chop a fucking carrot up into it and make 6 pounds of shit and send 10 ounces at a time with your kid to school every day? Fuck you. Of course you can. People do it all over the world all the time. It's your racist ass that thinks these people are inferior. Demand more of them instead of lowering the fucking bar. Yes, there's certain cultures that focus a little more on education. Let's see. Well, Jews do it. Asian cultures do it. The Germans do it. How's their economies doing? And then there's places like Mexico that don't do it. And they are thus fleeing to this country because they don't focus on education. And thus, they're going to set up a little satellite version of their country that doesn't focus on education in our country, and there's bullshit politicians that want to make sure they're able to do that, which essentially we will then enable them to continue this horrible cycle of not educating their kids and thus not learning the language and not getting and dropping out, and then continuing the cycle and not getting further along in life instead of doing what the Asians do, which is demanding excellence from their kids. Now, if that's racist, so be it. It's asking somebody to better their lives. It's forcing someone to better their lives. And by the way, when you do that in the animal world, you know what I mean? Like when you do a thing where you go, look, this is good for the horse, or this is good for this animal, and I know they don't like it, and they fight against it, and they don't want it, and there's some people that don't want it, but it's healthier for them, or whatever it is. We understand how that works, right? It's better. It will be better for the culture to focus on education. It will be better for their children. But instead, we have a bunch of pussies who are scared of being called racist. And by the way, who want the vote of these people. So they just continue to lower the bar, and they're hobbling those people.
Right.
Do you think they're doing better? Do you think every time you lower the bar for those people, they move ahead? No. The chasm grows between the Asians, between the Indians, and I'm talking about Eastern Indians. There's more doctors, more every time.
Hello, my name is Sanjay
Every
Kumar.
time you fucking lower the bar, the ones that excel, the Jews, the Asians, the Indians, it just grows. The chasm grows. You want to keep it going, and then at some point you look down and you go, "Hey, look at them down there," and then you go, "Hey, look at them up there," and you go, "Well, obviously racism's afoot here." Really? Do you guys think that we like Eastern Indian people?
Look who has nerd rage now.
Do you really think we have some inherent likeness, some inherent love of those people? Do we love their culture? Do we love their smell? Do we love their food? I didn't say they smelled bad.
Right.
Just saying if you liked it or not. Do we like their dress? Do we identify with their music? Oh, we love that. I fucking love all those Indian rock bands.
I do like good sitar.
Yeah, the sitar's fun when you're really high for about 8 minutes. Is there anything about Eastern Indian folks that we really like? No, there's not. And there's many more things about the Latin culture that we like. I mean, the food, the general, the drink, the whole thing. But what happens? The Eastern Indian folks focus on education.
Right.
And they focus on it for the kids. Why? Because they're white and filthy rich? No, because they've created a culture that realizes in order to excel, you're going to have to work harder than the kid sitting next to you, and mommy and daddy make sure you do. And thus, we have a lot of doctors.
So basically what you're saying is if it's a culture where we would want to go there and party, they're probably not doing that well in school.
Right. It's Jamaica, Mexico, any place we go fishing or drinking is not doing that well in school.
You're right. And another thing is that this is a way for LA Unified School District to have a better scores and better ranking because, essentially their students aren't doing well at homework, so they're just sort of making that not a big part of the grade.
Well, LA Unified got flooded by Mexico, and Mexico's a culture that doesn't focus on it, so anytime you get your school flooded, anytime your wide receivers get flooded by a bunch of slow white guys, it's going to hurt your yards after the carry, after the catch. That's basically what's going on. I'm just calling a spade a spade. Does anyone think
racist.
Mexico? Yeah, it's racist. Yeah, check the space program over there. No, they don't focus on education. That's why their country is essentially a piece of shit. Then they pour over the border. They flood our schools. We get Villaraigosa as the mayor. He makes excuses, and we go from, top 5, top 10 in the country to what? Somewhere between Mississippi and where? That's
Nebraska.
How did we get here so fast? Anyone ever think about that?
I didn't even know we were 5 at one point.
We were probably in the top 10, in the 50s or 60s or some point, and we're now in the bottom 10. How did that happen? What direction are we going? Have you ever seen any of the statistics for like the Hispanic kids and the dropout rate and all that kind of stuff? And what is so different about their family and their culture? They've been here a lot longer than the Eastern Indians or than Chinese, Japanese. Yes.
I need a little clarification on the story, because are they lowering standards, or are they just saying the homework's going to count for less of your grade?
They're saying
the latter.
Going to count for less of your grade.
But you're saying that overall this is going to create a downward trend.
All I'm saying is I don't even care. I've never done 8 seconds of homework in my life. I've never done homework in my life. I studied, ironically, for a Spanish final one time so I could graduate with 2 days left in school, and I got a D, even though I copied from Cynthia Nagatani the entire word for word. Anyway, the point is this. I never studied. She was hot. I never studied myself. The point is this. Every single time the LA City School District Unified School District tries something, somebody shouts racism. Of course, it's going to be something racism because there's a large group of kids that are of a certain race that aren't doing well. So anytime someone says, look, 10 years ago they wanted to do English only and everyone went fucking bananas. And I was like, of course they should learn English. How the fuck are they going to get a job if they don't learn English? And everyone went fucking bananas. And that was 10, 12 years ago. And they did the English only, and now it's fine. It didn't make a difference. The point is everyone goes fucking bananas. LA,
good use of bananas.
Yeah, thank you. Would you, by the way, somebody find out where LA Unified was in the 50s and find out where we are now. I'd be curious how many spots we've dropped. All right. Anyway, the point is this is the direction we're going. Somebody needs to step up and start demanding that certain cultures that don't put an emphasis on education need to start focusing on that rather than making excuses or then making rules and or more reasons why the education and these things cannot be enforced. Sorry, go ahead.
Exactly. So yesterday we were talking about